Hello and welcome to my channel, Duck Potatoes World. My name is Katie, aka Mrs. Duck Potato, and this is episode 48 of my video vlog, Created to Create, where I talk about all of the wonderful things that I have been creating over the past month. So I'm very excited to have you here. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back and hunting me down and waiting for my video podcast to be a day late. And if you're a new viewer, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. I hope you enjoy what I do here. And I thank you for spending your time with me because I know you have a lot of options on how to spend what little free time you might have to watch entertainment of whatever sort you like. And I appreciate that you have decided to give me some time. So I want to let you know that I am Mrs. Duck Potato on the vast majority of my social media things. So you can find me on Ravelry as Mrs. Duck Potato. You can find me on Facebook and Goodreads as Katie Brohard. And Instagram, I'm Mrs. Duck Potato. So if you are looking for me in any of those places, that's who I am and where you can find me. I'm sorry for the weird shadow, like right across the middle of my face. It's dark out and I'm filming in my room here and I don't have my lights with me there, someplace else. So just kind of having to go with what I have available. And I am filming this on May 1st. Normally I film a few days early and try to have this uploaded for you guys by May 1st. But I had a nasty cold all last week and never was able to film. Today's the first day I felt even remotely like getting out of bed and looking human. So my voice is a little lower than normal, but I think I can be heard. I have a voice and my throat doesn't hurt or anything like that. But I am kind of sneezy and I may cough a little. I'll try to edit that out if I can because nobody wants to hear me hack into the microphone. But yeah, we're just gonna do the best we can. You know, sometimes things are a little late for whatever reason and life happens. I have tried really hard to be consistent, and so hopefully you guys can be gracious and forgive me the tardiness of this particular episode. Now I'm going to check my notes. Give me just a second. All right, got my notes. Let's see. So I welcomed you all, and now I'm to talk about the knitted things that I am wearing. I'm not wearing any knitted things today. Actually, it's been rather cold the last day or two because we've had some weather come through, but I have been sick and mostly wrapped up in a blanket for 3 days. And today's the first day I got up and got dressed and showered, and I did not even know it was cold outside until I went outside to do something. And I could have worn knits. I didn't know. So I didn't. Finished objects. Now that I've actually got some fun stuff to talk about in that department today. So if you want to see the rest of the wedding socks that I made for my friend's daughter's wedding party, you'll just have to go look at last month's video. I did finish the last 3 pair for the bridal party. They all got done in time. They got sent off. I went to the wedding. It was absolutely beautiful. But I don't have them to show, and I'm not going to bother putting a picture in. The socks all looked more or less the same. If you want to see what they look like, go check out last month's video. I did make them out of Super Garnet Active 4-ply sock yarn on a cone, 500-gram cone, and the color was called Hibiscus. I also made a couple of sock tubes, and we'll talk about that some more later. I did finish my Sideways top by Petra Breakstone. Y'all have seen that several times. I don't have it to show you right now because when I finished it, it was too small. Even though y'all saw me like frog it, or not frog the whole thing, but undo my bind off and add inches and make lots of alterations to the front half of the top. It was too short. It was too small. It wasn't going to fit me. So I gave it to my friend Faith, and it fits her great. So I'll put a picture of Faith wearing the top here in my, on the screen for you so you can check that out. But she has it because I gave it to her. So she looks good in it, and I am happy that, you know, it fits somebody. And I plan to make another one that will in fact fit me. I have lots of notes on what I want to change and make different next time. But I did finish it and Faith loves it and it looks great on her. So there we go. Now I also finished the Doodler, which means that I have finished all 3 of my January 1st cast-ons by May 1st. So January, February, March, April. So it took me 4 months to get all 3 of my January 1st cast-ons done for the year. So the first one I did was the has to do with airplanes. the go around hat. And actually I'll go get it and show it to you because I didn't think to grab it, but I have it. Okay, so technically this is actually the second go around hat that I made because the first one that I actually cast on New Year's Day was too small. So I just modified the pattern a little bit and made a second one for myself that fit me. So that's that. That was my first cast on for New Year's Day. And then another cast on for New Year's Day was the sideways top, which I just talked about. And my last cast on for New Year's Day that's now done is the Doodler by Stephen West. And I don't even think I worked on this last month, so this is the first time you've been seeing it in a while. And I don't have a whole lot of screen room here, but you can see it's completely off the needles. There are all the little picot edge details that Stephen West had in this shawl. It had a thick garter stitch cable. I don't think I've ever made a garter stitch cable. I really love it. I think it's beautiful. The only thing I would have done differently if I had realized it early on, or the only thing I would maybe change, is I wish that this color was darker or more solid because the ribs in this are really hard to see. They're there. Theirs is divided into wedges, but the blue is so light and the speckling is so heavy in the rest of the shawl that's just really hard to see it. Except for just the way it is. So it is there. You can kind of see next to the lace detail where the ribs are. But they blend in a lot with the body of the shawl. So if I had to do it over again, I would have picked a more solid, darker blue for this garter stitch and to separate the wedges. But I realized fairly early on that was going to be the way it was, and I decided that I was going to go with it. I had a different color I could have used, but I didn't want to. I love these little picot edges where the wiggles are. This is a shawl I've had on my to-do list for a long time. I saw it in a shop somewhere and thought, oh, that's so cute. And then I've been waiting to do it for forever. So it was really fun to get it on. And I love this orange. Here, this is about where I was 2 months ago, which I think was the last time I showed it because I know I didn't show it last month. So I just had this little bitty bit and that I-cord bind off and these little picots to do. But it did take a long time because it was well over 300 stitches at this point. So even though it's only like an inch of knitting, it took me forever to do. So it does still need to be blocked. I imagine it will grow and be nice and big and squishy. I'll put in a picture of it laid out right here so you can see what it looks like all together, since I'm kind of sitting very close to my camera right now and I don't think you can't get like an overall view. But I'll put in a picture of it. But yeah, so that's my 3 cast-ons, which ironically enough, I still haven't finished all my cast-ons from 2025 because the wedding veil, which is the first cast-on I did, my first cast-on party, it's still not done. But I got all my 2026 cast-ons done, so good for me. You know, we'll just celebrate what we can. And I have finally finished my last and final blanket of knowledge. Yay! Y'all, I don't want to give it away, but I will. It's for my son. I told him he could have it after I film this video. But this is my crocheted block construction campfire blanket of knowledge. And it has a nice thick camel stitch crocheted border. I think it's like a 6-row border. And it has 20 squares in it in the end. I think I had 12 colors in the colorway. And then I had 5 squares that are all just granny squares that are made up of leftovers from a variety of different blankets of knowledge, actually. Some from Campfire, some from Cabin in the Woods, some from Enchanted even, some from Fall Fun. So that's 12 plus 5 is 17, 18, 19, 20. And then I had 3 other colors that I had from other things. One of them was a mineral rights color that I had that I used. One was a Cabin in the Woods color. And the third one was the black contrast left over from Enchanted. I had a ball of that left over. That was the squid ink. So I added a square of squid ink. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And it's done. And my son's so excited to have it finally. He's been very patient because it was originally supposed to be done at Christmas and that didn't happen. So it got pushed back to his birthday. It still wasn't technically done by his birthday. I had 2 more rounds to do on the border when his birthday came up, but I got it done within a couple of days. So I'm going to be passing it on to him. He's going to be thrilled to have it. There is no way I could possibly show this whole thing to you. just not happening. But I will put in a picture here in a minute of the whole thing laid out so you can see it, because I just can't show it to you. It's huge, it's thick, it's enormous, it's gorgeous. I'm gonna go give it to him and I'll be right back. So that is all of my finished objects for April. I thought that was pretty good, actually. I got a lot done in April. Of course, I had lots of projects that were almost done that I just needed to finish. So I did work on doing that. And that brings me to my unfinished objects. So I already told you the Wedding Peacock by M. Mario, my cobweb weight lace wedding veil for my sister. I still have not touched. You guys can all take a collective breath of shock. I know it needs to be done. Her wedding is in October. Just bear with me, okay? Let me get these kids out of school for the summer and breathe a little, and I will focus on that. I promise. I promise. This is my promise from me to you, that in the June 1st episode, I will have something, some progress to show on that wedding veil. I promise. I'm promising you. I'm promising me. I'm promising my sister. Hold me accountable, y'all. I promise. But I do have some progress to show you on my pick and mix cowl. So this is a crochet along with Ladybird Loves, who's another YouTuber. And I have some progress to show you, but I'm also a little behind because I did have surgery the end of April. April 30th was my surgery. So today's May 1st. I'm exactly 1 month out. I was able to catch up 2 weeks, and then the next 2 weeks I didn't. So we've done 4 weeks worth of triangles on this, and I have only done 2 of those weeks. So it's behind, but there's more done to it than last time I showed you. Now, I haven't seamed anything new up because I'm going to probably finish the majority of these triangles before I work the seam. And that's okay. But I think these last 2 triangles are the ones I've done since I showed you last. And I pinned them all in place. So obviously they're not seamed, but that way I can keep track of what goes where. And there's actually 2 triangles. I'm not really sure how this is supposed to go down at the end. Somehow I assume we put the 2 triangles together. I don't really know what the plan is to finish it, but I'm just going with the flow on this one. But there you go. So I'm 2 weeks behind. I'll get caught up. I'm not too worried about that. But it is being made out of just Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. In, I don't know, an assortment of colors. There's several colors. I can't think of what they'll... Pumpkin, peacock, linen, taupe. Let's see. Pumpkin, peacock, linen, taupe. And there's this reddish one we haven't used very much of, and I can't think what that color is right now. But anyway, I will catch up with that and keep going along with that. I think the plan is to do 26 weeks total, and I know through week 17, maybe 18. I think it's through week 18. Clues through week 18 have been put out. So I am a couple of weeks behind, but that's okay. I'll get caught up. I am still enjoying that. It's definitely a brain stretcher to figure out every week how to make the crochet stitch fit in a triangle that fits with the other triangles. But I'm managing to do it. I did my first Tunisian crochet, so that was cool. It really wasn't that hard, except my hook is really short because my hook has a handle. And so the actual part of the hook is really tiny. But I made it work. I got it done. So that is one work in progress. I also started something new, just kind of randomly. So I went to the North Texas Yarn Crawl and I bought bus tickets and went with the Dallas Hand Knitters Guild on their bus. And they had 2 days to cover the whole crawl. And the first weekend I was like, what do I want to bring with me? So actually, what I brought with me was, if you remember last month, if you saw last month, my mom had given me a bunch of Hobby Lobby Yarn Bee yarn in 5 colors that she had bought to make a blanket for her friend, and then she didn't like how it was coming out. So she bought some different yarn for her friend's blanket and wasn't sure what she was going to do with this. And I was like, oh, I want it. So she gave it to me. And the thing I wanted to do with it is this crocheted quilt. So I had already done 2 blocks, And so the first weekend of the North Texas Yarn Crawl, I brought the 2 of the colors with me and worked on some more blocks. But turns out it wasn't really it wasn't a great bust project, put it that way. But here is one of the completed blocks. So I have to make, I think, 16 blocks in the purple-red combo. And there's 100 blocks total, and they're all 2-color combos. They're just, you know, these are the purple-red ones. So I had, I think, 2 done already. And then I got on the bus, and I made, maybe I had 3 done already, because that's a 3rd one. I made several more, and I didn't feel like putting the little border around them. So here I am on this bus, crocheting these really boring single crochet purple and gold squares. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I did 5 on the bus, but I didn't put any borders on them. So now I've got to sit down and put all these borders on them. Anyway, that's what I did the first weekend of the yarn crawl on the bus. And I thought that being in a social setting with lots of other people would make these a little more fun to crochet. And no, not really. They're mindless and I don't need a pattern, so that's nice. But then in order to put the border around the edge, I have to think and do counting and math and like divide things up evenly. And I obviously didn't want to do that on a bus. So that's as far as I've got. The project is a go because I want the quilt. And my first thought was I was going to give it to my mom. Make it out of her yarn and then give it to her. But I actually might wind up giving it to a family in our church that's having a baby. So I don't know. Mom doesn't really mind if I give it to her or I give it to this family. She said, whatever I want to do is fine. I haven't decided, but I'm going to think about it anyway. But yeah, so I started that and I got a little ways on that. And then the second weekend of the North Texas Yarn Crawl, I was like, okay, don't want to take that project. So I started another project entirely so I had something mindless to knit on the bus. And so that is this right here, which is called A Simple Thing, or The Simple Thing, by Melanie Brell. I don't know the exact name of the pattern for this quilt, this knitted or crocheted quilt. I got it out of a book at the library, and I'll need to look and see what it is because I don't remember. And I don't have the book anymore. I just looked and went, oh, I can remember that, and that's it. But this one is The Simple Thing by, what did I just say? By Melina Brell. And it's in Nordic Star yarns in a color called Brio con Fuego. And I love it. So it's very similar to a Sophie scarf. You start down at the end and you increase and increase and increase and increase to the halfway point of your ball of yarn. And then you start decreasing. So I'm on the decrease end. Again, I know there's not a lot of room in the camera frame to see what I'm doing, but I'm working on it. It's a great piece of mindless, don't need a pattern, pick it up and knit, garter stitch project. So it will be really handy for grabbing and going. And it was useful on the bus because it was very easy to work on. I actually also worked on the doodler on the bus because I was doing the I-cord bind off, which is not hard. So I actually bound my doodler off on the North Texas Yarn Crawl bus, and I finished it and held it up and said, I bound it off. And it was very exciting and fun. So I definitely think we should have like bus bingo. If I ever do this again, I'm going to see if we can do bus bingo where like everybody can do certain tasks on the bus. If you finish a project on the bus, you start a project on the bus. I don't know. I don't know how it would all work out, but it was fun to finish a project on the bus. That's for sure. And yeah, so that is all I have in the UFOs WIPs, that I'm going to show today. I always have my Knit Your Bit blanket that I just kind of add to here and there. Not going to show that. I have several pairs of socks, 3 sock tubes, and a pair of hand knit socks on double points that I haven't done anything on, so there's nothing to show there. Yeah, I think that's all I have actually in progress right now. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. And acquisitions, now acquisitions is going to be a thing because y'all, it was not that good this month. Not as good as I've been. The first acquisition I had is my brand new to me handmade Inkle loom, and I'm super excited to show this. So it's behind me. Yeah, so I can't get the whole Inkle loom well, yeah, I can. The whole inkle loom in the frame here. This is my inkle loom. I'm going to be using it mainly for card weaving, but I have a heddle bar in case I want to put heddles on it and use it as an actual inkle loom. But this was made by my friend Carrie's husband. Isn't it beautiful? He made it from reclaimed wood, and you can see I've got my card weaving on it. So I might have a special segment later where I give you guys a quick rundown on how to do card weaving. We'll see if I have time. But yeah, I've had that for several weeks. I have not actually done anything new on my card weaving just because I've been busy or sick or both. So I want to get some work done on that. And then that same friend, her husband, also made for me a tray for the top of the castle of my loom. So I'm going to get that and show you that as well. Okay, so he made this by hand. I gave him like some measurements that I wanted to kind of hit, and he made this out of wood that he had lying around, and it's just a tray. It's 42 inches, which is the length of my loom, and about 6 inches deep. It's a little deeper than the castle, and I'm just going to put some double-sided Velcro on it and Velcro it to the top of my castle, and then I have a place to put my shuttles and my leaf sticks and things like that while I'm working. So I'm very, very excited about that. I really appreciate him. I love things made out of reclaimed wood, so I thought that was a really neat thing. And yeah, so if you're local and you're interested in some woodwork and you need a woodworker, I know a guy. Hit me up and I'll get you his information. He makes all kinds of things. He's made tons of looms for Carrie. He sells them, and then like he sold me that tray that he made for me, and it was a really reasonable. So if you need something like that done for you, let me know. I got the hookup. So I acquired those two things. Both of those things I ordered, special order from Carrie and her husband, and paid, and they made those for me. Now, the rest of this is mostly from the North Texas Yarn Crawl. So the first day, on the 18th, I went with Mom, like I told you guys last month I was going to, and we had so much fun. And I was very good the first weekend. I bought the Yarn Crawl bag, which was one of the most fun things about the Yarn Crawl, was collecting all the pins and going to all the shops and putting them on the bag. So I bought that on the first day, and I didn't buy not a whole lot else. I'll show you what else I got the first day. I apologize in advance for the crinkly bags. But let's see if I can remember where I bought what. Okay. I got this bag. This is a Delaque bag. I bought this one from Juju Knits. It wasn't the first place we went, but it's the first thing I found to show you. So I'm a sucker for Delaque bags, and I love this one. It has pockets on the sides as well as the short sides. It has a zipper pocket on the long side over here, and then as well as the regular pockets. And it has a handle at this end, and it has short handles like this. So yeah, and it was yellow. I had to have it. So I know I have 8 million bags, and I need a new bag like I need a hole in my head. But I saw this at Juju Knits, and I had to have it. They actually had some really cute ones that said Juju Knits that had like the logo on there, but I saw this yellow one and decided I needed a yellow one. So I got that on the first day of the Yarn Crawl. And then let's see. Pardon me for the crinkly noises. But I saw this at Lone Star Yarns, and I thought this was really pretty. So I bought a ball of it from Lone Star Yarns, and this is Universal Yarn Color Burst. And I don't remember the name of this colorway. I think it was like Lollipop or something like that. It didn't put me in mind of a lollipop. It felt kind of southwesterny to me. But it's a nice big ball of yarn. There's like, let's see, 200 grams and 660 yards. And I thought, man, I can do all kinds of things with this. That's a lot of yardage. And then I was wishing I had bought a second ball. I just kept thinking, man, 1,200 yards would have just been really nice to have had. And I only have 600 yards. And so I was thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And then we got to Denton Yarn Works, and they had the same yarn. So I bought a second ball at Denton Yarn Works. Now, they're probably not the same lot, I would imagine. I really don't know. I actually never checked. So let's see if I can tell. Well, I think that Denton Yarn Works put a sticker over their lot number. So I don't know. So they're probably not the same lot, but I'm not too worried about that. It's commercial yarn, so it's not hand-dyed, so probably close enough no matter what. Oh, let's see. Actually, I might be able to tell. Since I'm thinking about it. Nope, they're very different lots. Lot 3155 from Denton Yarn Works and lot 1691 from Lone Star Yarn. So, again, not the same lot, but they're still the same color, and I like them. And this way I had double the amount of yarn that I originally got. So I was excited to find that at one of the shops. Now, at West 7 Wool, all I bought was another yarn crawl bag because I was worried if I didn't get one for my friend Faith, who was going to go with me the second weekend, that she wouldn't have one. But I have done nothing but wish I bought Cowgirls Don't Cry. It was kind of like the show colorway, or at least a highlighted colorway at West 7 Wool, and I didn't get it, and I'm still kind of wishing I had got it, but I didn't. So I don't know if I'll be back down that way when they're open. I might go and see if they had any left, but I really loved that colorway, but I didn't get it. I mentioned Denton Yarn Works, so I'm going to hold this up. Denton Yarn Works had an awesome gift for the bus riders. It had a 20-gram mini skein in this gift package. It had a sticker, a notebook, 2 soak samples, which I love. And then everybody's also had a pencil. I have a stitch marker. And everybody had some kind of little wooden tool. There were a couple of different ones. The one I got is a wraps per inch tool. But yeah, everybody had, like, it was a really great little gift. And then this one, I think, was from... This little kit was from Lone Star Yarns, and it had the pencil and a stitch marker in it that said Lone Star Yarns. And then at Juju Knits, the Arkansas Yarn Co., Lori of Arkansas Yarn Co. was there with her trunk show at Juju Knits, and she gave us all a purple Arkansas. I have a purple one. I have a pink one. But yeah, just, and snacks. Oh my gosh, everyone had snacks. At Uta Yarn, they had really wonderful homemade lemon bars, and just trail mix and all kinds of snacks for us. It's a miracle I didn't gain 5 pounds riding the bus. And I didn't buy, well, I did buy something at Uta Yarn, and I don't know if I have it in here to show you or if I put it away somewhere. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go get the thing I got from Uta Yarn. Give me just a second. Okay, so I didn't buy anything at Uta Yarn, but my mom did. And one of the things she bought me was this adorable tag, and it says, I got it from my mama. Is that not awesome? So that was what Mom bought for me from Uta Yarn. She also bought some yarn, because you guys saw last month, if you watched, from East Texas Fiber Festival from Uta Yarn. I bought a super swirl, and several friends of ours are going to make a super swirl shawl with it. So Mom got her a super swirl when we were there. But then she also got this cute tag that I love that says I got it from my mama. I thought that was so funny. And let's see, the last store we visited that day, and I also got something from them, was On the Lamb, and they had this sample of this crocheted purse, and it was so cute. And so I bought the yarn to make the crocheted bag, and I ordered the clasp. And so the lady who knit the sample thought she had clasps in her car, so she rang me up for one, but then when she went out and looked, she didn't have one. So they're supposed to be mailing me the clasp, the hardware for the purse. But yeah, this yarn is t-shirt yarn, Circulo Premium t-shirt yarn. And I got the pattern to make the purse off Etsy. And I don't remember off the top of my head what it was called, but I'll put the name of the pattern because I bought that too. I'll put that up here for you guys in case anyone's curious. Now we all know it could be a while before I get around to starting anything. So, you know, if you hang out long enough, sooner or later, it'll show up in my WIPs, but it's probably going to be later. Like, seriously. I don't know when I'm going to get around to it. But eventually, I will. And so, yeah, that was the first day of the yarn crawl. Now, I had set myself 2 budgets. So every year I have a certain amount of money I can spend on yarn, and I usually divide it up amongst all the different yarn related events I plan to go to. I always go to DFW Fiber Festival. I always go to East Texas Fiber Festival. I have been trying to go back to the Yellow Rose Fiber Festival. So far I've only been once, but I was planning to do that, and I was planning to go to the Houston Fiber Festival. And I was planning to go to the Arkansas Yarn Crawl. So those were the things I was planning on doing. Well, the Houston Fiber Festival was canceled, so that's not happening. They aren't doing it anymore, which is sad. I never managed to make it down there while that was going on. And the Yellow Rose Fiber Festival just came at a bad time. I couldn't make it, so I wound up not going to that one. So then I thought, okay, I'll go to DFW, East Texas, and I'll do the Arkansas Yarn Crawl. And that's plenty. That's plenty of yarn things. Well, then I saw this North Texas Yarn Crawl, and I totally added that into my schedule. So I have to have a budget because I just don't have an unlimited amount of yarn money. I don't. If you do, then man, you are blessed. But I don't. So I set a very strict budget for myself. I took a certain amount of cash, and then I said in my brain, if I really have something I love, I can use a certain amount from my bank card. But I was trying to stick within my cash. Well, I did pretty good. I went about $30 over the cash I brought. Not bad at all. I was really happy with that. And then the second weekend of North Texas Yarn Crawl happened. So the second weekend, I went with my friend Faith. I'll put a picture of us in here. Oh, we had so much fun. She and I had a blast, just like my mom and I had a total blast. And I was so good. At the very first shop was Fiber Lady, and I love David of Fiber Lady, and I always buy something from him. So I got a ball of yarn. Let me show it to you. Okay, so this is what I bought from Fiber Lady. It is Fiber Lady Midori. It is 90% bamboo from rayon and 10% metallic silver. And it was gorgeous. See that sparkle? And it was my colors. It's called, I think, Autumn or something like that. Autumn Gold. So yeah, I bought that. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I think I'm going to make just a single skein cowl or shawl. But I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I got that at our first stop, which was Fiber Lady. Now let's see if I can remember our next two stops on the 25th. I didn't buy anything from. One of those was Yarn Therapy. And let's see. I don't remember where the other one was. I bought something at Fiber Lady. Maybe it was just Yarn Therapy where I didn't buy anything. Yeah, I didn't buy anything at Yarn Therapy. They had some great stuff. They had a scarf bar where you could go and there was like 3 different options and you could fill a bag and make a scarf, and it was very tempting. But Faith won the door prize there, and so I lived vicariously through her and watched her spend her money, and it was almost as fun. Like watching her win was probably even more fun than if I had won myself, because I do a lot of yarn thingies, but she doesn't get quite as many opportunities, and so it was really fun to watch her win and help her pick out her stuff. So I think that was the second shop that we went to the second Saturday, and I didn't purchase anything there. From there, we went to McKinney Knittery, which I go to at least once a year. I mean, I can't go to anywhere all the time because there's not a local yarn store where I live, but I'm very familiar with McKinney Knittery, and I wasn't really planning to buy something. I was looking for some worsted weight yarn because I want to make a headband that my friend Faith has made, and I couldn't really find anything there, and so I was just not going to buy anything. And then our bus broke down, of all the strange things to have happen. And so while we were waiting for them to get a new bus, I did a second walk through McKinney Knittery, and I found the yarn that I had been looking for. So I did wind up buying some Malabrigo Rios worsted weight yarn, and I'm going to make a headband out of this. And it's, guys, it's just fabulously soft, and I love it so much. But yeah, it's Glazed Carrots and Siri, or it's the name of the colors. So thank goodness our bus broke down, because then I found the yarn that I wanted to make my headband with. That was McKinney Knittery. From McKinney Knittery, I believe we went to Quixotic Fibers. It's a little bit easier for me to remember last weekend than the one I went to with my mom 2 weekends ago. Like, I can tell you where all we went, but I don't think I did it all in the right order. This one I'm remembering a little better. So at Quixotic Fibers, I've been there, but it's been years, like 2019, quite a few years. They were in a whole different city, in a whole different location, and the shop was so cute. And they had a clearance rack. And I just couldn't leave all that lonely, lonely yarn on a clearance rack for half off. So when I got to Quixotic Fibers, my budget kind of went, poof, who cares? And I quit. I totally lost the budget. Totally abandoned the budget. Turns out it's going to be okay. I'll tell you why in a minute. But first, let me show you what I got off the clearance rack for half off. So, this is Dream in Color Smooshy in Cashmere. Look at that. I'm going to make another quintet shawlette, I believe, with these colors. I love them. I love them all. Aren't they fabulous? But it's cashmere. And I only paid $25, you guys. And it's so soft. And I love it. So that came off the clearance rack. I mean, it called my name, you guys. Look at it. It said, Katie, I am yours. Take me home. Yeah, it wasn't the only thing with my name on it on the clearance rack. Then I walked over. And I mean, you see it too, right? It says Katie right here on the bag in these colors in yarn. This is a prism pattern kit with a shawl that uses knit, interlock, and crochet. I couldn't leave it. It's my colors and it's my my idea of fun, you know, something complicated. So I've had all these out so I could take pictures of them, so they're not lying quite as lovely in the bag as they were when I first grabbed them. You can't really see there's another color in there, but there's 9 balls of yarn in here. I paid half price for this, including the pattern, and I'm so excited to work on this, you guys. It has knit and crochet in the same project. And I've never done interlock either. So all kinds of new things for me to learn, which clearly I am a process knitter. I knit things way more because I want to do whatever it is I'm doing than because I care about what the end product is. But this is hitting all the buttons because the end product is gorgeous also. And it was a clearance rack, and that wasn't the only kit that I came home with, because then I saw this, and this is like Duck Potatoes World. Granted, I'm usually more of a blue turquoisey than an actual olivey green, but I still loved it. And it's another shawl kit with another skill builder, like lots of different stitches built into it. So yeah, I mean, they were homeless shawl kits, you guys. Homeless, unwanted, and unloved. And I gave them a home. I just couldn't help it. I told you my budget just went poof, be gone. Quixotic took all my money. All my money. Quixotic took all my money. So there was that. And so let's see, what else do I have to show you? Look at all these horrible. Oh, I got this at McKinney Knittery too. It's gonna be backward for you. FOMO, fear of missing out. I couldn't resist that sticker. It's totally me. I'm totally afraid something fun is going to happen when I'm not there. All right, y'all. So there we go. That was Quixotic. And then I was like, okay. Fiber Lady. I was pretty good. Yarn Therapy, I was very good. Didn't spend any money. Then Quixotic, I spent all my money. There's got to be another place we went to. Oh, McKinney Knittery. I spent a little money. I was very reasonable. That's right. So Fiber Lady, I was very good. Yarn Therapy, I didn't spend any money. McKinney Knittery, I was very reasonable. And then Quixotic, all hell broke loose. I spent all the money I had and some more than that. And you would think that after that I would be all satiated with the shopping of yarn. But no. No, I continued to spend yarn. So from there we went to Fiber Circle. And again, Fiber Circle was this really cute shop. I think she must have been open for 100 years, and she just never sells out of anything and never gets rid of anything. And so everything just accumulates, because it was what I would describe as a lot of new old stock. For example, she had some things that I know were discontinued yarns, things that I've worked with before and used up and know to be discontinued. She had lots of discontinued stuff. and it was stacked from floor to ceiling. There were 2 stories. It was just, it was a thing to behold. I wish I had taken a picture for you, but I did not. So we're just going to have to imagine Belle in Beauty and the Beast sliding down a library on a rolling ladder. There was no rolling ladder, but the stacks of books, that's what it was like, only yarn. And in my brain, I felt like we should have a rolling ladder to slide down the stacks in. I don't know if that helps, but it was a really cool shop, but it was also a little overwhelming. So when you walked in the door, she had one whole table that said everything on this table is $15. So I walked through the whole place because I wanted to see it all. But it was the kind of place where I would just need to spend hours like mulling through things and looking through things. And I didn't have that much time because we had so much time at each shop. And there were 2 shops at this last stop. So I kind of went through it all, took it all in and said, okay, I'm going to stick to this $15 a ball table. And I'm going to shop here. And I shopped. And let me show you what I bought. So, I picked out these 3 balls of yarn. They're all Heritage Silk Peruvian tones from Cascade Yarns, 3 different colors. And I just thought, wouldn't that make a really lovely Christmas shawl? And then I got up to check out and she said, oh, those aren't 15, those are 10. So I went back to the table and bought one more gold. Because, you know, girl math. I was going to spend $45 on these. Instead, I spent $40 on this. I saved $5. I thought that was great. So I don't know exactly what kind of shawl these want to be, but they're screaming Christmas shawl to me. So I bought those. And then if you spent more than... and I bought... These were sitting right next to them. These cute little llama earrings. Oops. They're iridescent. And I thought they were adorable, and they were right next to the yarn. So I bought those 2. And then if you spent more than, like, I don't remember what it was, $25, they were giving away free wristlets and table spinners. So these are very, like the Lemonwood wristlets where you can stick your ball of yarn and hang it off your wrist. They do that. And they also can be sat on the table and spun off the table. So I haven't tried mine out yet, but I'm excited to have it. Oh my goodness. And then there was the final shop, which was Yarn and You. And I really was not going to buy anything. I was like, I've spent all of my budget for this trip. I've spent all of my budget for DFW Fiber Festival as well. And I'm good. I'm fine. I don't need anything. Goose Raba, whatever your calming word is. I lied. They had a mannequin with this beautiful, beautiful shirt. And this was the yarn that the shirt was made out of. And I thought, actually, it would make a really good V-back tee because my V-back tee is too small. And even though I kind of was wearing it too small anyway, I wasn't wearing it very often because I was uncomfortable. It was just smaller than I'm comfortable wearing. So I wound up giving that away to a friend of mine who's smaller than me. And I thought I would make a V-back tee out of this. So I bought 2 of them. I've never heard of this yarn before. It was called Sheepies. And it's called Whirl. But yeah, I got 2 of them. It's more than enough to make a V-back tee. And then as I was leaving, she was like, oh, did you want the pattern that the model was wearing? And I was like, well, sure. So she also printed for me, and I have it somewhere. Here we go. The pattern, and this was the pattern, whoop, that was on the display, which is Rosario's for the Cascada t-shirt. And you can't see it from this picture, but the back of the t-shirt is this beautiful lace detail. So now I actually have to decide if I want to do a V-back tee again, which was what I was thinking, or if I want to use this pattern and do the really fun lace that's in the back. So I don't know. Since we all know I'm not starting it anytime soon, I have lots of time to think about it. But yeah, I bought yarn. I did. That second weekend, I bought a lot of yarn. Oh, and I can do it without too much guilt because I'm not going to DFW Fiber Festival this year. I know, first time since I heard about it that it has happened and I haven't gone. But it is the same weekend that I have to drop my pigeon off at college. And there's no possible way for me to drop the pigeon off at college in Houston and make it back up to DFW in time for the yarn crawl, or the yarn festival, the fiber festival. So I justified the blowing out of the budget by mentally thinking I had set aside money for DFW Fiber Festival that I can't spend, so I spent it at the North Texas Yarn Crawl instead. So see, girl math, right? That makes sense to all of you, right? Made sense to me. I have a couple of other things that I have acquired that I want to show off. So I actually won the giveaway in Kathleen Fuller's Books and Hooks newsletter giveaway. So I won a copy of one of her books, and she sent me this crocheted cowl that she made, and I hope it's not making too much noise on the microphone. But yeah, isn't that cute? So that was fun. If you are not on her newsletter, you should totally go to KathleenFuller.com and get on her newsletter, because you might win something really cool handmade by the author herself. So I wanted to show that one off. I don't remember the pattern or the yarn or anything about it. I'll look and see if I still have the email. I'll put it in the description box down below. And if I don't, you can email Kathleen Fuller Books and Hooks and ask her yourself. But I have that. And then my friend Jennifer knew I was looking for big tassels, and so she found these new old stock tassels, and she actually gave me 6 of them. So I have 2 of each rainbow and 2 of these tassels. So these 3 are for me, and the other 3 will be shareables for lucky ducks in the near to distant future. So I have that, and I have 2 more things to show you. Let's see if I can find them. Sorry about the crinkly sound. I know nobody likes it. I don't like it either. Come on. It's around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So my friend Faith, she got me a wristlet. Sorry about the crinklies. Another one of those wristlets, like, this is not a lemon wood one, but it is similar to the lemon wood ones. She had bought a set of them, and she gave me this cactus one. So I had a lemon wood wristlet, and I never used it, so I wound up giving it to my friend Jennifer because she had bought an off-brand one that had broke, and she used it. But I've recently kind of wished I had one, and now I have 2. So that's awesome. I'm going to try it out again. I don't think I gave it a good try the first time. I think I will like it if I just make myself use it a little bit better. So there was that. And then a few years ago, when I turned 40 and my husband took me on my personal 40th birthday yarn crawl, he ordered me this book, which is Knitting National Parks, and I haven't knit any of the hats out of it, but I have enjoyed reading it. Well, while we were at Yarn and You, they had Knitting the USA and all the hat kits that go with it. So I didn't actually buy this at Yarn and You. I know. I ordered it off Amazon. It was about $5 cheaper, and I didn't have any more money at Yarn and You, so I had to wait a few days until my bank account recovered. But I ordered this, and I'm going to read through it because I've enjoyed just reading this one. And I may knit some of the hats out of them someday, but even if I don't, like I said, I've just enjoyed reading the book. So I did get that book. So as I was packing up, I realized I have one more acquisition. This awesome bag is holding all that yarn my mom gave me last month, and it was a gift from my husband that he gave me while I was in the hospital having surgery. So, you know, some girls get flowers, but my man knows me, I get bags. He found this in the exchange at the VA hospital where I had my surgery, and he knew I would love it, and I do love it, and he gave it to me. So I wanted to show off this awesome bag. Oh, and I have one more acquisition to tell you about, and that is because Mother's Day was coming up, and Amazon emailed my husband and let them know that they were no longer going to be supporting my Kindle. So I have had a Kindle Touch. I've had a Kindle since 2009, but my current Kindle that I use on a regular basis is older. I've had it since 2018. I think it was a Kindle Touch that I think my mom got back in like 2012 or 2014, and it works, but the battery life is terrible. And now Amazon was telling us they were no longer going to support it after June. So for Mother's Day, my husband bought me a brand new Kindle Paperwhite Plus. So, yay! I love it. I love my new Kindle. And if that's not enough acquisitions for one girl for 1 month, y'all, I don't know what is. I am spoilt and blessed beyond all reasoning. My surgery went well. I had no complications, no difficulties there. I have had a cold the last 2 days, like I said. In fact, I spent most of Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in bed coughing and sneezing and being generally miserable. But that has not killed me. I'm feeling much better today, even if I sound a little cruddy. And yeah, I can't complain. It was a really fun month of shopping and time spent with my mom and my friend, and lots of crafting. And I am excited to get to make some of these new projects. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I've covered everything. Oh, I do have one more acquisition. It's not here yet. But remember, I mentioned to you that I had to give my shirt to my friend Faith because I made it too small for myself. Well, I got on Ravelry and I found a Raveler who had the same Queensland United Foursome Fraser Island yarn that I made the shirt out of that I gave to Faith. And so I replaced that yarn. I bought another set of it. And when it gets here, I'll show it off. But I did buy that this month. I just don't have it yet. So yeah, that is all the acquisitions. Now, I do have some things to share with some lucky ducks. So let's look at our shareable that I showed off to you guys last month. I am sharing a East Texas Fiber Festival tote. And in it, I have 2 balls of yarn donated by my sweet and wonderful mother. This is Chasky. It is 60% superwash merino, 30% Pima cotton, and 10% linen, made in Peru. And it should be just absolutely a lovely top. You could get a great little ranunculus or something along those lines out of it. And then I donated 2 balls of the yarn that came from my prize from Ladybird Loves. I have Hayfield Soft Twist. It's DK weight acrylic yarn. I have 600, it's about 700 yards and 2 balls of this to give away. And, boop, I need more hands. Hold on just a second. There we go. Tuck that up there. And I had an assortment of fun craft-related things that I had acquired from the Mineola League of the Arts over the last few months. So one is this wire knit bracelet. It's like I-cord knitting, a wire bracelet. I have this hand-painted watercolor card that says we love because he first loved us. 1 John 4:19. Yeah, 4:19. And then this cute notebook. It's just a regular old composition notebook. The notebook itself is not special, but it is in this quilted cover that you can reuse after you use up the notebook, that's made out of recycled materials and has a pocket in the front and a pocket in the back. So this is what I am sharing this month. And I haven't drawn the winner yet. Oh, and I added one. Remember, I told you I had several tassels. I added one of the rainbow tassels to this shareable this month. So this is what I am sharing. I have not actually drawn the winner yet. I will go and draw it while I am editing this video, and I will insert it here. So yay! Congratulations, winner. Make sure you send your mailing information, your contact information to me in the to the channel email that's in the description box down below, and I will get this mailed out to you. So congratulations. I am so excited for you. Thank you for watching my channel, and I hope you enjoy your shareable. I do have a small shareable for this month as well. So I have a book by Kathleen Fuller, An Amish Quilting Bee. And this is, I think, the book that I won a copy of with my cowl. I think this is it. This was the book I won with the cow. So I actually already owned a copy of this book, so I decided I was going to share it forward and give away this book. And then if you remember way back at the beginning of this very long video, I mentioned that in addition to finishing the last 3 pairs of socks for the wedding party, I also made a sock tube. Well, I'm also going to share a sock tube. Now, I believe this is a 60 count. I'll have to look it up. It might be a 64. I think it's a 60 count, but it could be a 64 sock tube. So the winner of this could either make socks out of it if they want to cut in heels, toes, and cuffs. If this size tube fits their foot well, great, they can make socks. Or if they find that this is either too big or too small, you can unravel it and make whatever you want. It's 100 grams of active super garner yarn in hibiscus. So I included the yarn label up. It's only 100 grams. It's not 500 grams, but just so you would know the content of the fiber and everything. And then I also have the other little rainbow tassel. And the pink bag is actually from Hot Springs Fiber Company, and I'm going to give this shareable away in this cute little bag. So book, sock tube, tassel, and bag. If this is something you would like to take home and give a new home to, if you would like to win this shareable, please give me a comment down below and tell me. I was going to have you tell me what the most is you ever spent on yarn, but I don't want to say that, so I'm not going to make you say that either. Tell me if you've ever blown your budget. If you've ever set off for some kind of yarn related or craft related or any kind of related activity and you had a strict budget and you just totally blew it. So tell me if you've ever blown your budget and if you regretted it or not. I'd love to know. I don't regret it at all. I'm not even a little bit sorry. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about budgets and if you've blown any and how that worked out for you. So this is what I will be sharing with you guys next month. I will also have a giveaway next month for my June 1st episode. I believe June is my channel's podiversary, so to speak. And I have a pretty good shareable waiting for June as well. So I haven't done shareables in a while. I'm excited to have a few shareables for you guys this month and last month and next month. Oh my goodness, guys. What's Loomin? There is so much going on. Everything has been so crazy busy. Singing Women of Texas is done for the season, but I am on the board. We call ourselves the sounding board, and we are hot planning for next year, so I'm excited about that. My pigeon, my oldest son, is graduating high school, so I'm graduating my first kid from homeschool. His graduation walk is going to be on May 9th, but our last day of school is not actually till May 15th. Excuse me, pardon me. And then May 16th is his pre-registration for college. So if that's not enough crazy for the next 2 weeks, I don't know what is. I'm very proud of my son, and I'm very excited to see him go to Houston Christian University. I got rid of one, y'all. Huh. I know it's supposed to be sad. It's supposed to be sad, and I'm going to miss my son, don't get me wrong, but I'm so proud that he is grown up and that I can send him to college, and I'm comfortable and confident that he's going to thrive and do well, and that he's doing what a young man is supposed to be doing with his life. So, yes, it's sad to see him go, but at the same time, it's a reason for celebration. He has done it. He has earned his graduation. He's deserved it. He's going to college. He's earned that as well, and the boy has worked very hard, and I'm very proud of him. It's my pigeon. He's turning into a husky. Go Huskies. And then my grandparents are moving from East Texas back to West Texas. So we have that going on. My husband's birthday is in May, and I have some plans with some friends of ours in Dallas to celebrate him. Both my younger 2 children were both born in April. So last month I celebrated their birthdays in various ways. And my very youngest son wanted me to crochet some plushies, which I had planned to do last week, but because I was sick, it just didn't get done. So I will be casting on, that's not right for crochet, chaining on. I will be starting some Hollow Knight plushies. So those should be something I have to show hopefully next month. And then my friend Faith, her son Kieran, asked her to knit him a hat, and she's tried a couple of times and has decided it is beyond her skill. So I am going to look into that and see if I can knit Kieran's hat for her. So I actually have the yarn for that somewhere. Right here. It's not my yarn, so I don't really count it as an acquisition. It's her yarn. She bought it. It's going, you know, it'll become a hat and then it will return to her family, so it's not mine. But I just decided that I wanted to do something for her and for Kieran. So while I am working on this hat, I will be praying for their family and for Kieran specifically, since I'm making the hat for him. And it's quite the pattern. I can see why she felt like this was a little intense. It's called the Marmarash hat, and the pattern's like 14 pages long. It's insane. And the charts are numbered, but you don't necessarily work them in the order that the numbers are. Anyway, I'm going to have to read through this myself before I get too far into it because it looks complicated. But we all know I like to do hard things. So that is kind of what I've got coming up. I still have not done the final weaving on Beatrix of my self-striping scarf that I want to finish. So hopefully I'll get that done. If not this month, then next. I don't have a huge following over on Weaving with Bee, but I at least would like to get that final process documented. It's really funny to look at the amount of time it takes me to finish something from start to finish compared to the actual number of hours, just because I have not had time to weave on my loom. I just haven't had time to get over there and do that. I've been busy. You know, there's only so many leisure hours in a day or a week or a month, and I have been filling them up with other things. So I got to focus on that. Now I am going to do my special segment where we will take a look at card weaving. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to show you how I do card weaving on my loom. So this is my shuttle, and this is my warp, and my weft is on the shuttle. And this little clamp is just kind of holding my cards in place. But what I have been doing, let's see where I left off here, is I've been turning them forward 8, then I go back 4, forward 4, back 8, and then I repeat. So I've just gone forward 6 times so far. So this would be the 7th time to go forward. So you shoot it, you beat it down, then you turn, and then you slide, and then you do it again. You shoot it, you beat it down with your shuttle, that should make 8 turns forward. You slide, and then you pull. I didn't pull the first time because I didn't have it set up, but you pull it tight. So there. So that completes my 8 turns forward. So you have to thread the cards just right to get this to work out, okay? And I can't even begin to explain to you how threading these cards works. I barely understood it myself, and I'm going to have to probably take the whole class again just to get the hang of that. But you can see my pattern building up here. So I just thought I'd show you. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing. You can see the pattern coming up on the weaving. So hopefully I will get this whole stretch woven at some point and be able to pull it off and have something cool to show you. Thanks for watching. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know how familiar y'all are with card weaving. I had never done it before until I took the class with Carrie, and I enjoyed it so much I bought a loom, and I am looking forward to making some things on that. I know my dad wants me to make a hat band for him, so I'm going to look into that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's very instant gratification. It doesn't take that long to dress the loom. You can see your pattern right away when you start working. Yeah, lots of fun. Well, I thank you all for joining me. I have been chattering on for well over an hour at this point, and I am going to close this in prayer, and I will see you guys back here, hopefully, Lord willing, June 1st. But if I'm a little late, then I'll appreciate your forgiveness. Also looming on the horizon is, as always, our RCal. So if you noticed, we did not have an episode in April like we had planned to. Between my surgery and Kathleen Fuller's bronchitis and then my cold, we just were not able to get it filmed until May. So it will be out May 15th instead of April 17th like originally planned. And we want to keep giving everybody the full 8 weeks to do the 6 Granny Squares and read the 6 books. So we're just going to go forward from May, so it'll be in May and then July and then September and then November. So we're just shifting everything down the line. So if you've been looking for the RCal Part 6, it will be up on Kathleen Fuller's Books and Hooks YouTube channel May 15th. And we'll just keep moving forward from there. I apologize for the 4-week delay. Life happens, y'all. So we haven't forgotten. That is still happening. It's just a little late. I am going to close this all in prayer. Amazing and awesome Father God, we thank you so much for the many, many ways in which you bless us, Lord. For things like being able to spend time with my mother and my friend Faith on a bus full of people who all enjoy creating things with yarn, to taking my son and getting graduation things done, and birthday stuff done with my other 2 sons. And Lord, I thank my son Levi, who's looking at getting his first job. There's just so many ways in which you have showered your love and your blessings on us, and we are so very grateful. But none of that, Lord, compares to how awesome and amazing and wonderful your gift of Jesus and his death on the cross as payment for my sins can be, Lord. The gift of salvation is even the most ultimate blessing that there ever possibly could be. And I am reminded daily, Lord, that you don't have to give us anything. We deserve nothing. We are sinners, Lord, in desperate need of you and a Savior. And it is only by your gracious goodness that any blessing or good thing is known to us. And I thank you, Lord, for Christ, for his death on the cross for my salvation. I thank you, Lord, for saving me from my sins. I thank you for my family and my home and the many blessings that you've given us, Lord. And I thank you for my YouTube channel and this opportunity to praise you and glorify you and worship you through the arts, specifically, Lord, the fiber arts. And I pray that you will be with my viewers, Lord, that you will give comfort for those who need comfort, that you will give peace for those who need peace, and that you will make yourself known to them in large ways and small ways and in all ways. And in Jesus' most precious name I pray. Amen.